Proposed fox hunting ban. There's a bill before the Dáil that has passed the first stage to ban fox hunting. Now, I presume it'll be a carbon copy of the British ban, which bans fox hunting from horseback with hounds. I don't think it bans hunting with hounds, and it may do. I know up in Monaghan when I was there was a huge interest on a Sunday. All the people would be out chasing foxes without horses at all. And there's a big industry in Ireland with horses and hunting. And it's a big interest by a lot of people, and people go around following it and all of that. Now, it was banned in Britain. Now, the thing about it is we have a bit of an epidemic at the moment with deer. I had red deer up here. They're not the pure Irish red deer, they're kind of a Scottish hybrid, but they were up here in the fields. I didn't shoot them because it was June time, and I just didn't want to shoot them. And I have a resident one or two Sika deer down in the bog, down in the north side here, and they come out in odd time and you'll see their tracks. They're very elusive creatures. They're not doing me any harm unless that they're infecting cattle with TB, but I had my emergency test because neighbours had TB cattle here, and my cattle all passed, so I don't know what's the story there. Now, the thing is, if I were to shoot a deer, the problem I'm faced with is the effort to skin him, hang him up and get him processed. Now, I don't have the license to shoot deer. I'd have to buy a rifle more powerful than the one I have, and then very expensive ammunition. And for the general shooting we do with foxes and rabbits and things like that, as a lesser rifle does. I might do, if any of you want, videos on firearms and for them in the rural scene. Now, the thing about it is, so me shooting the deer, but some people do, and there's people have licenses, I know, and the deer come out to them and they do shoot them, and then they get a lad from Dublin that buys them. I know a lad shot a deer one time up in Northern Ireland, or in the north, or whatever you want to call it, and there was fluke. When he went to dress it down, in the, wherever they are, the liver, he could see fluke worms moving in the deer. So there are health and safety issues. I just really don't know much about it, but they're a wild animal. So I'm just talking about them. Now, the thing about the fox, from I was a boy, I remember in this very room, looking out that window, and the Mead hunt was coming down across there. And it was a guy called Fieldgate was in charge of it. And there was lovely jackets and lovely horses and dogs. I still have the memory of it at the gate. It's hard to believe that right where I'm sitting here, I looked out the window there and saw the hunt. I never will forget it. But a lot of the farmers around here ran them, didn't want them, because sometimes they'd cut a fence to get through. My people never bothered with them. They didn't mind at all. It was very colourful, and there was a bit of fun and a bit of a big horror and all of this. Anyway, they're threatening to ban it. Now, I feel that it's wrong to ban it. I feel the banning of it in Britain was wrong. If you consider the fox, he is a pet species. I shoot up to probably 25 foxes a year. Maybe a bit less, maybe about 14, 16, that. And I shoot them because somebody maybe gives me a dead lamb and I put him out and he comes round and I get them. And my rifle, sometimes I have to keep zeroing it because unfortunately, keeping a rifle, you have to watch it very carefully. If it gets a bang on the scope, it'll go off, and so you'll miss. So anyway, but it's a sport of mine for a lifetime. Now, long ago, we all the old boys here would go out on a Sunday, and they'd have single barrel guns, our single barrel Harrington and Richardson, or them type of New England firearms guns, and there'd always be a problem putting out the empty cartridge. They'd have an old bolt and they'd drive it out with it. But that's all they'd have, and they'd be going around here with pipes, and they'd go around a big area of cover, and they'd shoot the odd fox coming out. It never damaged the fox population at all. Never damaged them at all. And the thing about the foxes too, the way I shoot them and the way others shoot them, doesn't damage them at all. There was one balling over there in the yard in the place the other day. So people might say to me, oh, you shouldn't be shooting the poor wee fox. You look at a television or a video of foxes or as pets, and you look at a lovely carpet somewhere in America or somewhere in England, a lovely carpet and a lovely settee, and the fox is on the settee, a cuddly fox. Does anyone not realise that if you have a fox as a pet, which is very hard to get him to be a pet, he'd rather be walking around rather than looking at you out the field. But if you have a fox for a pet, he has to defecate, he has to shit. And how are you going to train him? You think you can train him like a dog? He has to urinate. He has to piss, as the Monaghan man says. And yet nobody has the brains to realise that you're looking at a snippet of a video designed to make you more sympathetic to the fox, which is not reality at all. Keeping foxes wild is a very difficult job. So it's not that I want the fox eliminated. He's the Chinook, the Motherua in Irish. He's here for thousands of years and will be here for thousands of years yet. But he's a species that gives us sport. He'll raid a henhouse if he gets in. And if a cow is calving and he gets the calf coming from the cow and she's stuck and you're not there, he could attack the calf. That has happened. And they'll kill sheep lambing. If the sheep has a lamb partly out, she gets up and gets turned, he won't. So the foxes was always an effort to keep them down. All the old boys said, oh, we got a fox, we got 2 or 3 here. There's a few foxes around. And they'd be setting snares. And I didn't like setting snares. I prefer to shoot them. But anyway, we'd go out of a Sunday and we'd be out after the foxes and that'd be it. And that was a great day's out for a young lad. Helped to build a good character in a young fella. But the thing about it is, once we came to Patrick's Day, stop. They never shot the fox after Patrick's Day because rightly or wrongly they believed that the fox had young ones and they didn't want to kill the vixen when she had pups or young foxes, cubs. So this idea that the people who hunt foxes are savages and want to kill cubs and all that, that's all a load of baloney. Tony Gregory used to be raving on about that. Now, of course, with hounds, a certain amount of training has to be done and that has to happen. And there's big keeping on dogs right through the year. So right, to say it's cruel, I mean, the wild is cruel. I hear rabbits being captured by fox here and the squeals of them go mad. That's life. You look at an African wildlife film with David Attenborough, you see the lion killing animals. That is life, I'm afraid. And when you interfere in that life, you change the whole thing. But the other aspect of it is what about all the young people and middle-aged people and people who get sport out of this? And what about the fact that what the alternative that the left-wingers have to offer is drug taking, heroin? Were you not better let people go out and enjoy the country, go out and fish, go out and take part in hunting, go out and take part in whatever element of it? And I would say, of all the foxes killed in Ireland, I'd say about 3/4 are killed on the roads. I'd say about of the remaining quarter, I'd say 60% are killed by shooters. Be a little snaring. I don't like, you have to go and see the snare every day. Snaring is not something I like. So that's and then they'll catch badgers as well. And then there'll be a tiny amount caught by the beagles and the foxes. And then they say, oh, they're running them into the burrow and they're killing them. Well, that's the idea, to keep down the numbers. So the point about it is, folks, I'm giving you my opinion. Sinn Féin apparently has voted against the bill. And that's good. They should do that with rural representatives. But also Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael should turn around to Ruth Coppinger. Who is she? And now Coppinger. So that's a name from the Norman invasion or somewhere. You know, this one coming down telling us what to do. And the Green Party, they got their answer. They should leave the people alone. There is a lot of regulation on hunting. There are a lot of sports which are banned. Like live pigeon shooting is illegal. Cockfighting is illegal. So there's not the case that it's a free-for-all all over the country. It's a way of life, and it's a way of life that will continue even if they ban it, because all that will happen is people who catch foxes will move over from firearms and snares to other methods. You just can't have the country walking alive with any species. You can't. They have no natural predator, only man. And there's nothing like a countryman to want to see an odd fox here and there. He likes to see an odd fox. And when the mating starts at Christmas time, that's when they're left alone. And then they start to have their pups and they stop the shooting. But we do shoot up to about the middle of February, and they then go out at night and catch them with lamps. All of this is all part of country way of life. You can get rid of it if you want, but what you get then is neutered people. Look at them now in Europe trying to get soldiers. Where are they going to, if you don't let people go out and run around the country and understand the country, how do you expect them to become soldiers and fight the Russians in Ukraine? because it's those type of people that you want to be encouraged in your country, and you're building a society now where nobody will want to fight for that society because it's an old woke cultural Marxist left mad migration, mass migration thing. And wait till you see when these migrants get in what they'll do in our wildlife. A lot of the Eastern Europeans have destroyed our fisheries already. So that's my view. It's up to everyone to lobby their TD, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, to stop this bill and get rid of it. And by the way, for Ruth Coppinger or any of the lefties, I'm up for debate to debate this. I'm up for debate. So good luck. We'll see you back soon. Thank you.